Hello, okay. So my presentation is on drugs and substance abuse in adolescence. I hope you enjoy this presentation. So this image right here, substance abuse among teens is a growing concern, and it is affecting adolescents' mental, emotional, social, and their physical health. Not only that, but it has also affected their education as well. We'll dig deeper into that. So, what is substance abuse? Well, substance abuse is where one uses drugs or alcohol in an unhealthy and harmful way. Many use it in a risky way that is beyond legal and medical limits. So, like the most common among our adolescents is alcohol, vaping, marijuana, and even prescription meds if they're able to get a hold of them. And there's many more, but those are the ones that I've noticed a lot in schools. So here are a few images that I wanted to point out. So on the left right here, I have images of two different brains. Right here is on the left is what a healthy brain looks like, versus on the right is a brain where someone is using drugs. And you can see there's a big difference between these two images, and these two images under an MRI. Some of these drugs have toxic effects that kills neurons and times that these cells are not able to be replaced. That is why drugs can be very damaging to our brains. So the second image over here, I wanted to place here because it shows how the brain develops over time. As you notice, the older you get, the more mature you become, and your brain gets more developed, is more fully developed. And your brain fully develops when you're in your mid-20s, about 25-ish, 26. 25, yeah. Okay. So this image stood out to me. I wanted to put it here because kind of like puppets. Adolescents are like puppets in with their peers, within their peers. They are influenced by their peers heavily because they want to fit in with them. They want to stay cool. They want to look and follow one another, so they want to avoid rejection. So that's why they cave in and they follow others and they do what others are doing. So in this image is a picture of a family. So adolescents may use drugs or substances due to family factors, for example, lack of parental supervision, conflict in their homes, just going through so much at home, or just they have substances open at home and they're able to get a hold of them at home and they end up using it. They see what their whoever is living at home, adult supervision is at home, whoever is using substances, they're influenced by whoever they're with as well. So this image, of course, substance and drug use can impact our students' schooling. Students have a lack of focus, poor communication, poor attendance, low motivation, low confidence, and even can lead to dropout, suspension, or even to suicide. That gets to that point can become very detrimental. So what can happen? Well, adolescents will not only have consequences that they face in schools, but may also face legal charges, like mentioned earlier, suspension or even criminal records, leading to difficulty finishing schools, where as to dropouts, or even getting employed. Okay, so this image also stood out to me. And adolescents with drug use and substance abuse can be hurting their own relationships between family members, friends, and due to the use of drugs, it can also lead to isolation and can hurt themselves mentally and emotionally. How can schools solve this problem? Well, with good communication with staff, counselors, and educators, They should always build their own trust with their students, build that connection and trust, and create that safe space for them. Not just in the classrooms, but as a school in general. They should all build that safe space for students. And also, schools should be implementing trainings and even education programs on what drugs can do to one's body, mentally, physically, emotionally, socially. Okay, this picture is with family, or well, mostly parents. Parents can play a huge role in their children's lives, especially parents can talk to their children openly and model healthy behaviors to their children. Just being present in their lives and building that trust can really change how a child thinks inside and outside their home. So, what have schools been doing? Well, from what I have seen, schools have provided counseling for their students and awareness programs. I think that schools can also provide an early intervention as well for those who are involved with drugs or substance abuse. Having an early intervention can be very supportive and helpful. Here's a picture of what I like to see as a community. I believe community matters inside and outside of school. Having that support group outside is very important. I believe it can change the way students and even staff members think. For example, having a pickleball club outside, going on a walking club, club sports, even having more organizations on campus, having many, many different clubs and organizations can really make a make a difference. So the best way we as educators can do is to build that strong connection and relationship with our students. Just creating that safe space. Again, I'm mentioning safe space because that's very important. And just being understanding of their situation, whatever they're going through inside and outside of school or even in their homes. And just listening to them because all it takes is just for us to listen. Sometimes they just need to vent it out. And having that safe space is perfect. So they're able to be honest with us. And it's never too late. I say success because it's never too late for our students to be set free from drugs and substance abuse. Again, having that support from school, from their teachers, from their friends, and even their family can change their lives. Just a quick little check-in with them, just even like I said, listening can show that you care about them, that you love them, and you're supportive of them. And that's the best we can do for our students. So this is the last slide, and it's where something that stood out to me and I learned from this presentation I'd like to share with y'all. Something I learned from this presentation is how important it is for us to be aware of what drug and substance abuse can do to our students. Our students, not only physically, but mentally, emotionally, socially, and just their health in general. And also, something I learned in class is that teenage brain and how it develops. I learned that during adolescence, the prefrontal cortex is the last area for the brain to develop. Yes. Thank you for listening to my presentation.